If you're relocating to Georgia, whether from out of state or from another country, one of the most important decisions you'll make is whether or not to work with a local realtor. A lot of buyers wonder, do I really need one, or can I just work directly with the listing agent or the builder? Today, I want to explain why working with a local realtor is especially important in Georgia, what makes our state different from other states, and how having the right representation can protect you financially and legally during your move. I'm Heather Jenkins, your South Atlanta relocation expert, and my goal is to help you make smart, confident decisions when moving to Georgia. Let's get to it. One of the most important things you need to know about buying real estate in Georgia is that Georgia is a caveat emptor state, which literally means buyer beware. In simple terms, that means the responsibility is on the buyer to do their due diligence. Sellers are not proactively required to disclose every possible issue with the home the way they are in other states. This surprises a lot of people relocating from states with much stricter disclosure laws. Here, disclosures aren't even required. A seller's disclosure is a helpful tool, but it's only as accurate as the seller's knowledge. That's why inspections and due diligence are so important, especially here in Georgia. In Georgia, if you don't ask the right questions, hire the right professionals, and have someone guiding you through inspections, timelines, and contract language, you could easily miss something important. And that's exactly where hiring a local realtor comes in play. When you're relocating, you're not just buying a house. You're choosing a lifestyle, a school district, a commute, and a long-term investment. A local realtor helps you understand things you simply won't see online, like neighborhood nuances, school zoning differences, HOA rules and restrictions, local taxes and fees, flood zones, and whether a home is on septic or sewer, well, or public water. I also want to be really clear about something. As a local realtor, I'm required to follow federal fair housing laws, which means I can't tell you whether an area is good or bad or make value judgments about neighborhoods. What I can do is point you to reliable resources like school performance data, crime statistics, zoning maps, and local amenities, so you can make an informed decision that's best for your family and your lifestyle. Especially when you're buying from out of state or abroad, you need someone on the ground whose role is to educate, guide, and protect your best interests, not just get the deal done. New construction. This is where people get it wrong, and this is a big one. It's something I see all the time. A lot of buyers assume that when they walk into a new construction neighborhood, the agent sitting in the model is there to help them. And while they're often very friendly and knowledgeable, it's important to understand who that agent actually represents. That agent works for the builder. They are there to protect the builder's assets, pricing, timelines, and contract terms, not yours. Even in new construction, you should absolutely have your own buyer's agent representing you. Your agent helps review builder contracts so you fully understand what you're agreeing to. And builder contracts can be over 70 pages long. Your agent negotiates upgrades or incentives when possible and makes sure important deadlines are met throughout the process. They'll also recommend independent inspections and advocate for repairs or corrections, helping protect your interests from start to finish. Without your own representation, you're essentially going into a legal transaction without someone whose job it is to protect you. I had a neighbor that once decided to use the builder's agent, and every time I saw her, she said, "God, I wish we would have hired you to help us with this transaction." It was an extremely frustrating process for her. And once you're under contract, it's too late to add your own agent. So this is something you want in place before you ever step foot in the model home. Why local knowledge matters in Georgia specifically. Georgia real estate is extremely local, and Coweta and Fayette counties do not have school of choice like some other areas. Two neighborhoods just a few miles apart can have very different price trends, school zoning, tax rates, HOA rules, and long-term resale patterns. A local realtor helps you avoid overpaying, missing zoning or HOA restrictions, or choosing an area that doesn't align with your lifestyle or long-term plans. One important area where local knowledge really matters is school zoning. I help buyers understand how zoning works, where the boundaries fall, and how to access reliable resources like school performance data, district maps, and enrollment policies. That way you can make an informed decision based on what matters most to your family. This guidance is especially important for relocation buyers who don't have the luxury of driving through neighborhoods regularly or experiencing these differences firsthand. Final thoughts. Working with a local realtor when relocating to Georgia isn't about pressure or sales. It's about protection, education, and peace of mind. In a buyer beware state like Georgia, having someone who understands the contracts, the market, and the local nuances can make all the difference. If you're thinking about relocating to Georgia and want someone in your corner from day one, I'd love to help. Download my free relocation checklist below, subscribe for weekly videos about living in South Atlanta, and feel free to reach out to me if you're starting to plan your move. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.